But now they doing it to you because you got all this land around you. And they need that for the AI data centers. And now you're complaining about that. But when black folks told you about Cancer Alley in Louisiana, none of you said, hey, wait a minute, hold on. These people can't be living around these. They getting cancer. They can't be living around here. All this soil got too many chemicals in it. Black people can't be living right here. No. These people, these refineries gonna have to either buy these people out of their property, or some of them have to go to jail for emissions. Nobody said anything because it was black people. And now you're starting to see some of the same effects slowly starting to happen to white Americans. But when you don't care when it happens to the least of these, then why would somebody care when it happens to you? You understand? This is why when things happen to you, people don't feel sympathy when you complain. The only reason a pandemic was a pandemic because it was affecting you. If that pandemic would have affected just us and every other group outside of you and you were good, knowing your history, you would have racialized it, which you did racialize it as well. You'll racialize it and try to do something against everybody else. But because it affected you, oh, we got to hurry up and get some medicine for it. Oh, we got to throw $4 trillion in the economy because it was affecting you. And in some ways, affecting you a lot more, so much so that they stopped counting the death counts. They stopped counting it. That's how many people was passing off, and a lot of it was in y'all community. It was some black folks too, in other groups. That's the only time it's a crisis when it happens to you. Because they don't care when nothing happens to us in black America. I just want to be clear on that. And am I lying, y'all? If I'm lying, just tell me, correct me, and tell me where I'm lying at, and then I'll make sure to correct myself. Okay? Now, the lion and the ox says Dems want renters and for people to need rent control. Dems, Republicans, it don't matter. They on team white supremacy, okay? They don't care. All right. So let's get to the next thing I want to kind of just put up on the screen. Another one here. The top 3 reasons housing has become so unaffordable in the U.S. market is not what you think. All right. So they say brick by brick, regulation by regulation, America built its own housing crisis. Experts say the problem is cemented into the foundation of the U.S. housing system, a design flaw decades in the making. And say they point to 3 major forces doing the most damage: restrictive zoning, land use barriers, and financial policies that have choked supply and pushed prices out of reach. Y'all lying. Let me tell you why you're lying. I'm going to tell you, some of that could be true, but I'm going to tell you let private equity buy single family homes. That's why you have a problem. You let BlackRock, you know who BlackRock is, a major private equity firm, buy out neighborhoods of single family households, and they turn all those homes into rent homes. Companies like BlackRock should not be able to buy single family homes at all. But when the government sitting up here allowing BlackRock and many companies like this to buy up brand new homes and turn them to rent, listen, I saw this one neighborhood got built up, and I need to find out who owns it. The whole neighborhood is rent homes. I watched them build it from scratch. It's a whole freaking neighborhood, nothing but rent homes. I say, wouldn't they start doing that? Because my whole life, if I seen a neighborhood was built, it was for sale signs. Now they building neighborhoods just for rent homes. Kind of like that statement, you will own nothing and be happy, that sort of thing. So now Americans don't even have the homes to buy because all these private equity firms is holding on to all the homes. And the government is not forcing them to say, hey, you got to give up all them homes. You got to sell them off. And because we have a crisis in this country, people need to have homes. They're not forcing them to do it because in this system that you have here, is ran by a oligarchy, and the oligarchy here controls Democrats and Republicans. It don't matter what party. If they're taking donations, then they're being ran. And the worst thing they ever did was the Citizens United decision in the Supreme Court when they said corporations are people too. That right there spiraled everything down worse than what it already was when they start saying corporations are people too, and corporations can give to political candidates. This is why that they don't do nothing for you, is because why should they, when Walmart can give billions of dollars to them if they want to, or hundreds of millions of dollars to them? Or lobbyists. Lobbyists in this country is not looked at as bribing. In most countries, that would be considered corruption. Lobbyists are legally corrupt. It should be against the law to have lobbyists. The lobbyists are doing all kind of backroom deals, giving them money, access to this, access to that. It's a lot of corruption going on up there. And notice nobody's talking about doing a forensic audit of these senators and Congress people. It's saying, how do you get a job making what you're making in Congress, but in 5 years you became you multi-millionaire? How'd that happen? How'd that happen? Like, did you hit the lotto? Everybody hitting the lotto around here? Why are y'all rich? There's no job in this country, no job I've ever worked, where I started my job and then in 5 years I'm multi-millionaire. How did that happen? Nobody investigates that? Supreme Court justices, everybody get a bag. And nobody's getting paid millions of dollars in their position. It's all corrupt. And that's why I can't stand when they be trying to talk about other countries or Africans are corrupt. Man, y'all way more corrupt than Africans. At least African politicians are pretty upfront about their corruption. Y'all just mask your corruption, call it lobbyists. You mask your corruption and call it super PACs. You know what I'm saying? Y'all mask your corruption. All that mess Nancy Pelosi did for years. Martha Stewart went to jail for insider trading. How come Nancy Pelosi never went to jail? I'm just saying, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just saying. Well, let's get back to this stuff here. These people wonder why this country's in debt and why this country is falling apart. It's because of them. It's because of them. They are destroying America. It don't matter if they're Democrat or Republican. It don't matter. It's them folks. I don't care about their political party because they the one in charge. Is the black man in charge of America? Is the black woman in charge of America? Hell no. So you can't say the black man and woman is destroying anything. They are destroying America. The black man and woman built America. The black man and woman has maintained America. The black man and woman even been the moral compass of America. We've done everything we could to try to maintain this place. And every time we turn our back and back off from them, let them to their own vices, they destroy everything. But that's how they were in Europe. They were destroying Europe too. If your Congress, federal law supersedes state law and local, your federal government can pass a law that gets rid of every regulation to prevent building homes. Your federal government can make tax incentives for these builders to build. The federal government owns so much land in this country. They can build so many single family homes in this country for people. Okay. The federal government has the power to do a whole lot.